Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Hey kids! It's time to have fun! Ready, set, fun!
What the fuck did that say? This is so good. By the way, God bless whoever edited this video. That was the perfect ending to it, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, hello chat, how are you doing out there? I am the Canadian Rogue. This is now another Rogue Takeover stream for MetoHistory, or MetoHistory as I like to call it. And we're covering a few different things during the whole Mr. Menaker sagas. So he has been a very large and in charge man that's been around the internet for quite some time. And so this was a Sparky endeavor. But, Sparky got kid. So he's taking care of kid. So you're left with me, and sometimes Gem Max, to cover all the different crazy aspects of one Mr. Menaker streams. So, yes, we have this one that will be kind of doing the Dean+Esmay stuff. So, yes. I know back in the day that Jimmy Boy caught whiff of one Dean+Esmay. Wow. Things have happened since that time frame. Things have changed. So I believe we'll be going over the immigration freedom fighters via Dean+Esmay. So this was during his Metocast back in the day. I want to say it was 2016. So we're going to be gearing that up. I've already put out my invite to one Gem Max if he decides to show up. But that is a thing. You know what? I'm also gonna do something else. I'm gonna put this in here just so that there we go. No, not that one. I want No, I want there. I want that one. Copy. Control A, Control V. No. No. Copy. Yes, that one, please. Thank you. All right, that done. Let's get this ready. Share the screen. Okay, this is interesting. So I've had this happen before. So you're not showing up where I want you to show up. So I'm gonna do this under a different thing then. How about if I grab you, put you there, and bring you up this way. Okay, and then boom. Cool, that works better. All right. So now I can get rid of this. All right. Oh, look at that. We have a Sparky in the background. See if I can get him to work. Yeah, we okay, shared. Cool beans. Get this to work. Hello, Sparky. You're so tiny.
Hello.
What's going on? There you go. Long time no hear. What have you been up to?
Busy.
What? Not about not into about a foot wide garbage eating machine.
Yeah.
So.
Nah, I've been extremely busy at work and the house and all that a good shit.
Oh.
But I kind of had a slack off day.
Uh-huh.
Well, not really slack off day. Got down to walk and got done mowing the front yard, and I'm just sitting down relaxing now. It's like, it's been a while. Oh, come on.
It's been a while. Welcome back to your show. Congratulations. Not like
I figured you just take it, run with it, and go, I'm in charge now.
I kind of am, but I look. It says a rogue takeover. It stakes in this case. It stakes over, but you know.
Well, it's you're still in charge, so
I'm somewhat in charge, not by much. It's just one of those things. I'm like, I'm here. I get to push the buttons instead of Sparky pushing the buttons. I get to push the buttons. But normally I would have a Jim Max too. Speaking of which, to harass, but he's here now. Hi, Jim. Long time no hear.
Oh, yep. The three amigos returned again.
I know for this case a very interesting.
I seen the description.
Yeah,
is this what I think it is?
This is who you think it is. This is who you think it is.
Motherfucking Dean+Esmay.
Yeah. So this is 2016. This is Mr. Medica going over the freedom fighters back in the day. You know, the Islamic freedom fighters, all that kind of shit. Yeah, you'll get this. This is how Dean+Esmay got his titties in a twister because of one Jimmy Jim boy there.
You mean how twisted the tipples?
His tipples.
Twisted the tipples.
His tipples were twisted. His tipples were twisted.
To quote Boogie.
I actually right now they're trying to find a person to replace what's Tommy C. Because Tommy C was fired.
Yeah, so, I've been watching that whole deal. That's kind of bullshit because Tommy won it.
Suck Keemstar and sign on the dotted line and it's fake, paperwork.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tommy could get in trouble for it in Germany.
He could, but the problem is like I said before, it is fake paperwork. Yes, there's one. Yes, it is possible that it can be considered a legal kind of thing. But we're talking about Keemstar here for the fuck's sakes. He's already talked about these motherfuckers' salary prior to all this shit. So
they talked about it all day last night.
Yeah.
Or the other night.
Correct. So him trying to put his foot down on this fucking thing.
It's like stupid. Well, it's stupid because it's like let's look here. They made fun of Mama Max for it.
Yep.
So it's only fair to make fun of Keemstar for it.
Well, yeah. No, because I mean, what the Smaggle Daggle was on the show for the spot, I guess, but he pointed it out that Keemstar has brought in all the basic haters for Boogie and for Wings, but when there's a basic hater that would be great for the show that's against Keemstar, Keem's like no, can't have him. So
Yeah, you can't upstage Keemstar, but anyone could.
Even though the person who's taking over the job has to be Keemstar. He's a Keemstar replacement.
You can't replace Keemstar. You can't replace the third locale in Locale Life.
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, so
he's irreplaceable, kind of like what he said Boogie was. Even
I know, right?
Even though Boogie doesn't need to be on.
No, whose tattoo looks like it's been fading quite nicely. So I again, like I said, the way how this is going for locale, it is a lot of show. There's no real realism. If they really wanted to have a proper locale kind of thing that these fuckers sit down, chit chat shit out, they should have kept Tommy. They should have continued running the show as is. Get rid of Keemstar outright. Let him do what Keem is supposed to be doing behind the scenes, whatever the fuck that is.
What it should be is just torture Boogie every night.
That basically is the show.
Torture Boogie every night show.
And good job on that.
Yeah, until he sucks that shotgun that he should have,
should have, could have, would have. But no, Tommy
did a long time ago.
Put a bit of the poker on Keemstar and his misses, and Keem hated it, so he can't take the heat. So what the fuck? Why is he there?
Well, that's simple. He's a cuck well, he's a cuck too, but,
He's very much a cuck. But speaking of which, we have Dean+Esmay on the holding here. So
does Dean know we're doing this?
Fuck no. Why would he know?
Why would he care?
So I could put this in the
Yeah, you could put it anywhere you fucking will. What? It is.
Tag them and go, hey.
Yeah, you could tag them. You can personally send this to them. You could
do. Probably just want me again.
I know, right? No, we've had our ins and outs. We've had our disagreements. The guy comes back kind of apologetic, and he gets all flustered and fucked off. So it's all a thing. It feels like it's mostly a show on his end, but. Yeah, Dean, who's been off and on religious, fell into the trap of this fucking thing here, which we're about to watch. Now, remember, it's about an hour or so. So, yeah.
You got to speak through a little bit.
Yeah, I know. If we do a lot of commentary, I'll probably bring it up to about an hour and a half. But, as it is what it is. So, let's do this. This is Metocast 2016 covering Dean+Esmay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Strap in.
Freedom Fighters.
Strap on.
I know. Okay. Is this? Yeah, this is on.
Strap on and then strap in.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Always. It's easier that way. It's hard. It's hard to put a strap on when you're strapped in.
Well, you could probably ask some of the Olympic, women out there. They might actually do that already.
Oh, that's low-hanging fruit. Apparently, they don't have any, but that's low-hanging fruit.
I know, right?
Oh, we got Dr. Mr. Black.
Dr. Black, how you doing over there?
This is a tough business to run for president.
I know. You're a tough guy, Jeb.
And we need to have a leader that is
real
principled.
tough.
I will take it to Hillary Clinton, and I will whoop her.
Hey, remember those days?
Oh, I remember those days.
You're never going to be president of the United States.
He became president of the United States.
42 and you're at 3, so
Doesn't
far
matter.
I'm doing
Chad,
Doesn't matter.
Dr. Carson. Thank you, Wolf. Please join me for a moment of silence and remembrance of
Jeb Bush's campaign.
I love my dad. I'd kill for him.
Yeah, you
I'd go to
could,
prison for
but
him
you
'cause I
never
love him
did.
so much. I'll give him a warm kiss.
Jesus Christ! No wonder he fucking lost. I remember now.
Dude.
Yeah, I never forgot.
How do you
really.
do, fellow kids?
What?
I was in Washington, Iowa.
Wow.
About 3 months ago, talking about how bad Washington, D.C. is. It was to get the kind of the...
Washington, Iowa. He fucked up.
Anyway.
For goodness sake.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Pocket total. That's what Mrs. Black said. Pocket total.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Huh?
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what a pocket turtle means? I mean, it's a turtle that likes to stick its neck out every now and then. I think it's all kind of tiny, so it hides its head. Think about that. Think about it really hard there, Sparky. Not too hard, because you might end up having another offspring.
Oh!
Well, good morning
I know,
to the
right?
people that are actually up. It's really fucking early where I am, but Dean wanted this time. He said it worked best for him, so that's what we're going to go with. He'll be joining us shortly.
He used to give us
Had
little
something to do
turtles
this
people.
morning. He said
Yeah,
he should be
that
back
works
at 7
too.
punctually, but might be a few minutes late, so I
Jim's,
figured I'd start up
Jim's
early and
mic
just shoot the
sounds
shit
good.
and kill a little bit of time before we actually
I mean,
get into this.
that's normal.
For everybody
That's
just
normal.
tuning in randomly, you have no idea what the fuck is going on. Dean+Esmay, I think I'm saying that right.
No,
Esmay,
it's
maybe?
quiet, but you close.
Decided to
Gotcha.
I don't really know how he decided to discuss the topic of the New Year's Eve events, as he would put it, in Germany. Disagreed with the majority of people, saying that he didn't believe this was a group of individuals that was targeting women. He thought it was fabricated, and he had a lot to say on it. So
Did he though?
I decided to bring him on. He wanted to come on to talk about it, so that is what this is about. I'm just calling it Metocast because I'm too lazy to make another dumb fucking picture to put up. So this works.
That's classic.
Again, he'll be coming on. If you want to hear that,
Classic
great.
Jim.
If you don't, tune out. Go to work. Go back to sleep. Go back to bed. I don't know what the fuck you're doing up this early anyway. Unless you're actually working or going to university or something. You should be sleeping right now.
So, if I remember correctly, this would have been like early in the fucking morning, like between like 4 a.m. to like 7-ish for some. So if you're not like early workers and that yeah, this would have been really early morning stream. Jesus fucking Christ.
Saturday or Sunday?
11:53.
Let's see here. This happened on 121. So January 21. It could have been a Thursday.
16,
Not 100% sure, but it could have been. It could have been.
So 16 January
21.
21. This was Thursday morning.
Look at that! I got it.
Yeah, fuck that.
Don't you? So this
That'd be a
was
walk.
really fun. No, because during this time frame, he was trying to figure out what time frames he wanted the Metocast on, and a lot of them hit like 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. Yeah, the fucker really didn't have a really good schedule, so he changed it around and made it a bit later in the day.
They made it more than better.
I know, right? So yeah, it was like 7 his time frame because he's central, so it would have been like 9 for some or 8 for others, depending on whereabouts you were in the global world. But yeah, he hit really early for some European fuck. I don't know why, but anyway, continuing.
3 p.m. represents somebody.
Oh,
in the
3
chat
p.m.
said.
There you go.
That is, yeah, you should be getting some sleep. I don't know what you're doing. Yeah, somebody in the chat, open 4991. He just lashed out at you. You could say that. We'll go over it. I don't want to put any words in Dean's mouth, but as
I was up at night. I was up really late at night. I think I saw the stream by accident.
Probably did. I mean, it was, and as stated, I heard 3 o'clock in the morning, so it is very possible. And if he's central 3 o'clock, then
It would have been like 4 or 5 for me.
yeah. So, again, kind of questionable. Because like I said before, his streams used to be at that time frame about 4 in the morning. So I'm not 100% sure. So anyways, continuing.
As he had so eloquently put it on Twitter, I am a bigoted neo-Nazi leading a lynch mob to
Yay!
kill Muslim men by falsely accusing them of
What?
crimes they did not commit.
What? Yeah.
Whoops.
That was the thing. That
You
was
fucking retard, man.
that was the statement.
You
That was the
fucking
statement.
retard.
I know, right? Jeez. I love it. I love it when Dean gets his, steps in shit and then tries to wipe it off, pretending that he didn't step in shit, even though it's like knee high. Fuck me. Anyways, continuing.
Because Islam didn't do nothing.
Didn't do nothing.
We can't say anything bad about Islam. They didn't do nothing. So, me being the person I am, I don't know.
Oh, this I believe is during the same time frame where Dina
Wow.
went from atheism to religious.
No. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't called me a fucking neo-Nazi.
Give him time. Give him time. But he might like the native folks. I have no idea. He might consider you two-spirit. Who knows at this point? Anyways, continuing.
Maybe you've heard on Reddit they've talked about it. I am responsible for having homosexuals thrown off of rooftops in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
That is something I am solely responsible for. So, I mean, clearly, it just makes sense that I'd be leading a lynch mob now to go kill the very people that I was facilitating and helping murder all the homosexuals in the Middle East.
Not all the
I get around.
homos.
I get bored, I like to vary it up a little bit. Let's kill some gays, but then let's get some Muslims, too.
Yeah.
We got to get those notches on our belt. We want to really even out the tally of the amount of people that I can murder.
Sounds like
Dean
Matt's kind
is
of drying
still-
his skin just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did during that time frame. And it took many years afterwards before the two of them were able to, get in front of each other. Wow. Voice to voice, really. So took a while. But we got it done. Yay. Anywho, continuing.
Absent, I believe. Let's see. I have faith that he'll show, but we'll see where it is. Let me check the audio level while I got a second anyway.
Audio
Okay,
level's
we're
good,
good.
Joe.
Sounds good. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Show you the link to what, Zero San? To the to the people being thrown off of rooftops? I don't know. We'd have
Oh
to dig
my
through the YNC or Live
Wow.
Leaks or something like that to find you the videos of all the gays being murdered in my name in the Middle East. Who the fuck is Dean? Says Nuke. That's a great question. I don't know who Dean is. Dean is just somebody that approached me on Twitter. I have not heard of Dean before. I don't know what Dean does, where Dean lives, what Dean engages in. So he can explain it when he comes on.
Yes,
Maybe
he will.
He'll give you the spiel of who he is and what he believes in before we get into talking about this. No, I'm fairly certain somebody's saying they'd laugh if he doesn't show. I'm pretty sure he's going to show up. I don't see why he wouldn't. He's awake right now. I'm awake right now. And this is the time that he asked for. Personally, I would have liked to have done it about 4 or 5 hours from now because I'm fucking tired. But he wanted to do it. Jim, go back to bed. Jade is cold and alone, you faggot. She's out in the cornfield right now. Of course she's cold. It's Minnesota. It's like sub-zero out there right now. She's a jade sickle. There's no warming that up. So I'm not going to go out in the cornfield with her. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm warm inside. I'm staying inside.
I mean,
Dean is or was an MRA, is he not? Again, I don't know anything about him. So he can
still
explain
is.
who he is and what his belief system is and his ideology and all that shit. I'm not going to put words into his mouth until he's here, and then we can discuss it. Eurofag stream. Yeah, I suppose this would work out for people in Europe. Generally, I do mine in the evening in America, so you guys, I don't know what the fuck's going on in Bongland. I'm not sure what you people do. I don't really pay attention to European time. I'm American. I use the only time, the only clock system that matters. Okay, is the time that's here.
We'll think about it. What goes bong in the UK?
Big Ben.
I mean, if you want to call him that.
Bong.
Yes. I mean, Big Ben is fairly big.
Oh, and I've already been struck for hate speech, and I'm trying to figure out how.
Congratulations. You done a hate crime against Big Ben because he's really
I
big.
guess so.
Anyways, continuing.
What do you guys do in Europe? Who cares? You count the bongs. So right now in Europe, what is it, like 13 bongs, 28 bongs? I'm not sure what time it is over there.
He's right.
Yeah, people keep asking, who is Dean? Again, I'll let him explain.
I like the factor that no one that actually deals with Medicare shit knows who the fuck Dean+Esmay was or is. I love it.
Were you in the chat?
No, at that time frame, I was asleep.
Well, I think I was up, and I remember this really clear. Not clearly, but I remember Medicare kind of goes off on him eventually.
He does. But like I said before, Dean+Esmay really stepped into it, decided to set this thing up. It's really early in the fucking morning. Medicare is grumpy and tired. And you know what's going to happen afterwards? It's going to be glorious.
Yelling.
Oh, yes. Lots of yelling.
I mean, Dean shows up like 15 minutes late.
Yeah, I believe so. That's correct.
His Twitter bio to give you an idea. Dean+Esmay, I think I'm saying that right. The MRA neckbeard they warned you about. Pro-theist, pro-humanist, non-libertarian, non-socialist.
Jesus Christ.
Chestertonian.
Yep.
Good luck proving me wrong.
Yep, theist. Remember, he became a theist.
And Dean just set it up for him for what sounds like a totalism vid.
Yeah, he did. He pretty much did. Which I had that on the sidebar, but yeah, I looked through and I'm like going, you know what? I want a morning with Medicare, and that popped up. It was about an hour long. I'm like, going, this is perfect, and it's Dean+Esmay, even better.
I mean, might as well just say cuck at this point because it'd be just a lot quicker.
Oh fuck yes, I know. I mean, the funny thing is when I met Dean+Esmay briefly, he pretty much spurred out on me because he found out I was an atheist. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And then I heard through Penn that he was an atheist that became a theist. I'm like, oh, he's one of those. All right,
Yeah,
cool bean.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I could play with this shit. I'm good with this. Look, I don't care what religion or diatribe you want to believe in or want to, work within because that's the way how shit is. But I'm not going to be pushing my shit on you. You don't put your shit on me. Pretty simple, very easy. But yeah, Dino just wanted to do all that kind of shit. I'm like, I'm good, but we'll play since you want to play. And here's Medicare.
Wrong. I say fuck a lot. So I don't know if that clues you into what we're about to embark on.
Oh yeah, a good
there
adventure.
You go. That's what his little bio says. 37 stones. That's the time right now in Bongland? Is that how you measure it, with stones?
Wow.
I know you guys measure pretty much everything else in fucking stones over there, so it wouldn't surprise me. Oh, it's 15 pounds now. Clearly. It's 15 pounds past 13 stones. I don't know. That's a European watch. They're very large to fit all those words on, but you get the point.
What happened?
Okay, so I'm wagering from what Dean had said that we should be close to going here. About another 5 minutes, and he should be good to go.
Right.
I will, Chad. I will ask him his stance on gout. I know that's very important. That you are desperate to know about his stance on gout. We will go over that.
Oh God.
$10 says it's Sargon just trolling.
Nope.
No, I don't believe this is Sargon. I'm fairly certain this is an individual who is not Sargon's alternate trolling account.
Correct.
What do Americans measure time in? Rune Longsword, you're asking? We
Freedom.
measure it in freedom. See, in America, we measure time by the amount that we can speak without being interrupted by somebody, which is pretty much infinite. See, we can say whatever the fuck we want. I know if I went over to Europe and I tried to speak freely, I'd have somebody sticking a ruler up my ass because they might get offended. God help me if I go onto social media anywhere in Europe and type something, I might get arrested and thrown in. I
That's
don't even know what you
quite a
guys
lot
use
lately.
for fucking jails over there. Dungeons?
Mm,
You just use dungeons under all the fucking castles that litter the landscape, I'm guessing? So yeah, over here it's freedom.
no, they just put you into the River Thames.
That's right. USA.
One of the worst spots.
They measure it in black dicks. Well, I could see Sweden doing that.
Yeah.
I could see Sweden using a clock made out of nothing but black cocks.
Well, that's their signature move, so, hey.
Now they have been changing their stripes on that.
All right. Let me just get this set up.
Slowly.
I will try to ring up.
I mean, they have been
Try to
bruised
ring
by a
up
lot
Dean
of
and see if I can
black
get him.
dicks for a while, so they're like going enough. We like them white ones now, please.
In the meantime, I'll just keep shooting the shit until he shows.
Yeah, that's basically what you do.
Oh, you used mosques. Is that what you used to measure time over there? That's great. Oh, cool. All right, Dean's here, so I will pull him in and we will get this started.
He's here. Oh, he took about 11 minutes to get him.
It's still not here yet.
I
It's
know,
getting
but
there. Maybe 12.
Oh,
Hey, can you hear me?
There he is.
yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep. Just so you know, we're actually on stream right now. So
Yeah,
11
Don't,
minutes.
Are we live?
yeah, we're live
that's
right
Matt.
He
now.
is.
I
it
started
is.
it up. You said he might be a few minutes late, so I figured I'd shoot the shit until you showed up and we can get this going.
Okay.
So everybody in the chat wants to know who you are. I'm not really familiar, so I just kind of read your Twitter bio. So if you just want to, I guess, introduce yourself so they know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
Anything you feel is relevant, whatever you want to say.
I think
Well, let's see. I am one of those notorious men's rights activists you keep hearing about, although I do not speak for all MRAs. And if anybody thinks so, you'll find plenty of MRAs who don't like me or like me but think I'm just dead wrong about shit. So I'm not speaking for anybody but me.
Yeah, you're wrong about a lot of things.
So
there,
I mean, there's that. And plus, I know a number of people in
Hey,
Germany
argue
and
flat
Austria
earth
and
again, Dean.
places
Jesus,
and
yes,
Belgium
I know,
and places
right?
like that, who just like me from day one were questioning the so-called rape mobs in Cologne on New Year's Eve, and I still got skepticism over it. And I think the only, although, for the record, I think that if we have a real conversation, you're going to find I agree with you on a lot more than you think. But I think I had good reason to be skeptical, and I'm still holding on to some of my skepticism.
Wait, now
So that's kinda
see,
where I am.
already you said had reason to be skeptical. So have you changed your opinion? Because that's past tense.
I've certainly changed my opinion some, but not all. Is that fair? Because I'll tell you what happened. It's very clear to me that there were attacks. Okay.
Whoa, wait,
absolutely.
Dean. What evidence do you have for attacks?
What's been reported on not just Breitbart, but a number. We're talking about the attacks in Cologne, right?
But there were no attacks in Cologne. You told me this yourself. You said that nothing had happened. That it was just I don't know. I mean, you made it seem like it was pure fabrication when this was being broached, when this was being brought up. I mean, my first interaction with you on Twitter was you basically telling me that I was a disingenuous, lying bigot that was leading a lynch mob. So I guess what attacks are you referring to? I mean, are you saying that what I was saying initially when we first started talking is actually true now?
And here becomes the ripping.
And maybe this is Twitter, Jim, and maybe this was the heat of the moment, because what I remember is you starting with, oh, look how pathetic these MRAs are, making apologists for rape. That's what I remember being our first. But you know what else? I'll also say this. Maybe I'm misremembering.
Uh-oh.
I think if we go back, we'll find it went that way. But maybe I
Remember
responded
that
to
word,
somebody
folks.
who was
It's going to pop up a lot.
I love the factor that Dean likes to backtrack a few things when somebody gets aggressive towards him.
I'm misremembering is something he says constantly. I remember this video.
He still does it to this fucking day.
I'm misremembering. Maybe. And I'm like, bitch, you are fucking not remembering this right.
Yeah.
He does this. I remember this video, and he Medicare at one point comes at him we'll get to that video, but
Yeah.
basically just tears into it for being unprepared for this history.
Oh yeah, no, we're getting to the good part. We're just getting into the introduction. We haven't get to
Oh,
the
I
other
know.
part yet. It's gonna get glorious.
Also responding, you know how Twitter gets, especially when everybody's mad.
Well, I can
Really
quote
sound-
you our exact
you know,
first interaction.
Pause this. It really sounds like that he kind of knows he fucked up and is trying
Yes!
to
Oh, yeah.
backtrack.
Oh yeah, already. He already
Yes.
knows he's fucked up.
Yes. Here's the first thing. One, he fucked up because he's trying to conflate that what he said on Twitter was Twitter shit, and what he's saying here is real Dean+Esmay talking points. So he's trying to deflect
Yep.
these two things. So he's trying to separate them pretty spaciously. But unfortunately, the way how he presented himself on Twitter is kind of reflective to his true nature in real life. So, yeah, Dino just kind of stepped into a massive piece of Dino shit, and he is almost like waist deep in it, and trying to take himself out.
I may be misremembering, but it gets good.
I know, right? Let's continue.
Action. This is where it began on January 7th. This is what I said. I think it speaks volumes to see somebody who writes for an outlet like Forbes, and I'll get to what I was referring to in a second, because I'm sure people are not going to know what the fuck this is about, but I think it speaks volumes to somebody who writes for an outlet like Forbes to make these statements. For days, no one wanted to publish. It took social media to force it being brought up. Then it was watered down so as not to offend. Again, people had to push. Now you have statements coming out left and right about what transpired, yet there is a concerted effort to protect refugees. How about instead they focus their efforts on protecting women from being sexually assaulted and worry about immigrant feelings later? Your first response to me, our very first, our very first interaction was, your response was, how about take at least 30 seconds to question the credibility of the reports before we assume those men guilty of anything? My response, which ones? The 120 in Cologne, the 53 in Hamburg, or the 7 in Frankfurt? And then it basically went from there with you saying, so basically you guys are good with sloppy evidence standards of feminists. Got it. And then from that point onward, that's where our conversation went. But never once did I mention MRAs. Never once did I mention feminism. I was simply, my initial response was to a woman who's an economist at Forbes. And I swear to God, and this is on her Twitter, and I have archives of this. She actually went onto Twitter and said that this is Frances Coppola, too, for anybody who's unfamiliar. She said that she believed that the anti-immigration people organized the Cologne sex crimes as a way of getting immigrants out of Europe. She was putting forward, this is a woman who writes for fucking Forbes, she was putting forward the idea that neo-Nazis painted themselves, this is what I'd have to assume she's saying, painted themselves to look like immigrants, and then attacked women in an effort to make people so uncomfortable that they would basically force an exodus, that they would get all the immigrants out. So that statement and the statements preceding it, during our initial interaction, were directed at Frances Coppola and her fucking pure insanity in regards to the news coming out of what was going on in Cologne, with the initial reporting happening on the 6th of January, I believe.
Then I will plead guilty to jumping in the middle of a conversation I didn't realize had a broader context with you.
Yep.
There was a lot of stuff being flung at me on my Twitter wall. There were even people dragging. I just saw this stuff happening, and I was reacting and I was angry. Let me point a few things out to you, though.
Go for it.
There have been multiple reports in Germany, in the German language press, just in the last 2 months, not to mention the last few years,
Why does he sound
about
like he's
a rape
desperately
about
trying to
police
sound like
warning
Destiny?
people about
Well, it's not that far between the two of them. I mean, let's be real.
That's who he
Destiny
is.
is just a moonshot away becoming an MRA.
Yep.
And just one good whack in the head, and all of a sudden, Destiny is an MRA. That's all it takes.
Hasn't he had a couple already?
Not yet. Not yet. But give it time. Give it time. I mean, it's only a matter of time. But anyways, let's continue.
false rape reports. There's one I just tweeted the other day.
You're talking about the events in Rostock. Those articles
Well,
are from those articles are from October, November. Yeah, you're talking about Rostock, which is, I believe, 500 miles away from Cologne, and a month or two preceding the events. And this is in reference to people who weren't immigrants. This has nothing to do with the Cologne events.
So let's take a deep breath.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I think if you look at the very first tweets that we went through, I was working again. This was when the news was breaking, right? I'm an MRA. I'm familiar with issues like false rape allegations. There's been multiple stories with the police complaining, even female police commissioners complaining about false reports. So the night it broke, I was like, wait a minute, you're jumping too fast.
Well, yeah, but you're referencing two articles. I read these. You looked at it. I don't speak German, so I had to translate. Obviously, there's going to be some loss in translation, but they were from the websites mainpost.de, and I don't even know how the fuck to pronounce this, but OSTSEE-ZEITUNG.de, and they were both referring to Rostog, and they were talking about the female police commissioner, and she does quote in there that 8 out of 10 of the sex offenses they investigated, out of the 239 that occurred for the year in Rostog, they found that there was no evidence for, there was nothing to support the claims that were made, that they were false, or it was misinformation, or it was some kind of other issue going on, but they were not legitimate. Now, that's what you're talking about. But again, my first, I have to draw a line here, is Rostog is 500 miles away from Cologne. These events are months before what happened in Cologne. They don't deal with immigrants. Immigrants are the core issue of what we're talking about when we're talking about the Cologne sex attacks, when we're talking about just the massive problem that's taking place in Europe right now with immigration.
Okay, we are probably in agreement on 99% of the immigration issue. We really probably are. I mean, I don't think it's practical to throw all those people out of Europe because how? But
It's easy. Put them on
clearly
fucking
it's been
train.
horrifically handled.
Send them back.
Clearly, nobody in authority, including in the press, has done a good job over there. So again, like I said when we started,
Or better yet, what we could do is we could reopen Auschwitz. You know, bring back to the factory machine. Jesus fucking Christ! It is Germany we're talking about here. They have a lot of different camps that are available for these types of situations. But I forgot. Germany doesn't want to talk about those things. Yes. Anyways, continue.
we probably disagree on less than you think. Maybe this is too much Twitter snarkage, but I've been talking to people in places like Germany and Sweden, by the way, and quite a few other countries over there about problems with false allegations. So I'm sorry if on the initial hearing of this news, I was like, come on. Plus, I must point out that very same night when you and I got into it, other people were sending me so-called evidence that was clearly not even from France. I was getting videos from Hungary. I was getting videos from France. I'm sorry, they weren't from Cologne. They were from France. They were from Hungary. They were from Egypt. I'm saying, where's your fucking evidence? And that's all I was asking people for, and it wasn't showing up. Even now, I recall 1,000 Muslims rape 100 women. That's a real specific claim. You don't get to water down rape and say, well, he grabbed her tit and ran off with her purse. That's a sex mob. No, that's thug behavior. Somebody belongs in jail. Don't cheapen the definition of rape. I heard initially 100 women raped that night in the streets of Cologne. Guess what? You guys look about 97 short on that claim.
Well, okay. Well, we'll go by that step by step. One, I think the reason that you were getting links, and again, I can't speak for other people. I can
You do not. I'm
no, and that's fine. I can only speak for myself. I never made the claim of 1,000 Muslims raping 100 women, nor did I link you to videos from other countries. However, I have had follow-up conversations with other people. I think what's getting confused here, and I see a reaction from people such as yourselves or MRAs who are worried that this is some kind of feminist-driven campaign against men. It is not. What you're seeing right now take place are people are starting to get tuned into the issue that there is a massive issue. There's a massive problem right now in Europe with immigration. The floodgates have been opened. Nobody has overseen who's getting in. You have a lot of men. You have a lot of people with criminal backgrounds coming in. It was sold to people as this, oh my God, look at the poor hungry children. We've got all these families that want to come in here. It was complete bullshit. Germany now has 1.2 million refugees in there. They don't know half of them fucking are. And immediately preceding this, and it's not just Germany too, it's all these other countries. I mean, Christ, look what just happened with Sweden. They just came out with a report saying that the media has intentionally suppressed migrant crimes that have happened in that country for 5 fucking years. And that is on the tail end of reports that came out, 6, 7 years ago talking about what they call white pixelization, where if somebody of a darker skin tone or somebody who was a immigrant background committed a crime, they would pixelate the image to make them whiter and appear lighter in certain publications, so as not to be racist, because reporting factual information is apparently a problem for Swedes. So you see all these people linking all this stuff. I think what they're trying to get at least this is what I'm guessing is happening, is they're saying, look at the overall picture of what the hell is going on in Europe right now. We have a group of people we have let in from a region of the world that really doesn't hold the same cultural values that we do. And this is the reaction you get. Their ideology perpetuates this kind of behavior. And so they're linking you to all these different examples and saying, see, it happened here, it happened here, it happened here. I mean, after what happened on New Year's in Cologne, there was a 5-day period, where they would not report on this. And in fact, let me, just to bring it up, if I can grab it here. Crap, of course. And I've lost it. It was basically the former interior minister of Merkel in Germany from 2013, I believe, had made the statement that, and this is a former government official saying that there absolutely was an intentional cover-up and suppression of this story in the media because it is not something that they want to talk about. In fact, one of the heads of a major news agency or television studio over there even went on record and apologized and saying that they didn't cover this. They didn't talk about it. If you look at a lot of the dates of the articles that came out in relation to what happened in Cologne and even the other events in different countries for New Year's, they mostly start on January 5th. You can't really find very much before that. And again, this ties into the immigration issue. This isn't a men's right issue. This isn't a feminism thing. I mean, Christ, if you go look at the people defending the shit right now, it's not, it's not MRAs. The MRAs aren't the majority of the people saying, oh my God, leave the Muslims alone. You've got batshit crazy feminists like Lori Penny?
Yes.
I think I'm saying her name right?
Correct. That's
writing these articles saying it's shit like it's
idiot.
xenophobic and racist to accuse these people of doing something. It's the same shit that Sweden engaged in. It's the exact same thing of you can't dare criticize or bring it up because it's racist or xenophobic to talk about it.
I certainly don't know about everything you just said. I can believe that maybe all of that is gospel truth because I happen to agree.
See, this is another big issue with Dino. He thinks he has everything figured out. So when he talks with authority. But when somebody who's well versed or well knowledged about an actual subject,
He backtracks
and or he relies on secondhand information. Oh, my friend said this. I'm like going, no, your friend could be wrong. This is the information. This is the real deal.
He never really comes fully prepared. He goes on what other people said that had nothing to do with the conversation,
right?
Or have no real knowledge of the conversation.
Correct. And then he tries.
And claims it as fact.
Oh yeah. Then he does the emotional attack going, you're trying to say that my friend's a liar. They've been really hurt by this and these factoids. They've lived that life. I'm like going, look, if that person has that particular type of feeling because of whatever that situation, that's them. But that's not the mass majority.
Yep.
So unfortunately the truth is this. How you feel about this is going to be different. It's going to vary from person to person. Unfortunately,
he really does try to go after the feels.
Yes, he does. He tries to go after the feels, and I kind of go, yeah, no, sorry.
He's really bad at it too, though.
Yes,
that's the thing. He's really bad at it.
This is the reason of why I'm a classic MGTOW, and he's a staunch MRA. We've divided that particular line. We don't follow the same feminist diatribes that the MRAs will do. Unfortunately, both sides have been taken over by weaker individuals that have no clue about what's going on because they have been inundated with a lot more third world feminist ideals, and it continues. So so what they're bringing to the table, especially for the MGTOW side of it, are angry MGTOWs that feel that they've been left out on something. And so they're going to latch on to this hate train for the most part, that every woman is this way. And unfortunately, the traditional way was you do you, brah, but know exactly what the situation is. Here's the reality. And unfortunately, this is the same trap that Dean always puts himself into. But we're going to continue.
That the political correctness, the PC left, what's called the social justice left, has made the critical mistake that anybody running a big government or anybody running anything should know. If you lie to people long enough, when they find out, they're going to be really, really pissed. So if nothing else, they deserve every bit of calumny put on their heads, because you've got to be honest with people. And what they've done, from my perspective, I don't believe their so-called ideology is the main goal. I'm sorry. I read about what happened on Cologne. I keep reading as it keeps coming out. A lot of these guys were drunk. Oh, drunk jihadis. Give me a break. No, what they are is semi-literate immigrants with who don't fit in and don't belong and are sitting in a ghetto. Gee, what could go wrong? I frankly don't see what's going to be much different about places where those immigrants are living now in 10 years, and Compton in LA.
Because he's
they're ghettoized nobodies who can't.
Well, every time he starts to have a puff.
Well, I can tell you what the difference.
Well, yeah, no, because that's his tactic. He puts himself out there. He finds that the person that he's going up against is a lot more, yes, a lot more skilled than he is, and so now he goes on the defensive. He'll pull out the emotional thing. He'll bring out some of his information that he knows. Then he's going to rely on the factor that, well, I'm misinformed or I don't have all the information, but from what I've been told, this is Baba.
Yeah. I remember this one now.
Yeah.
Is going to be.
This was hilarious.
Compton may be ghettoized, but it's not going to be under Sharia law in a decade. I guarantee you, the majority of these. I mean, when you look at even what was it? The Pew poll, or the Pew Research Foundation had done this poll of Muslims around the world talking about their ideology and how it impacts their day-to-day life. It's from 2013. I think it's April of 2013, if I'm right. But they broke it down, and you had, based on their numbers, you've got 1.6 billion Muslims. It was like 1 billion of them believe in Sharia law, and then half a billion, 500 million plus. It said that death for leaving Islam was a reasonable thing.
Yep.
So when you're importing all these people from the Middle East and North Africa, where the majority religion in those regions, the ideology that they follow is Islam, they are Muslims. You're creating a situation. I mean, my God, the Imam in Cologne, right, came out and actually said that women were responsible for the sex assaults that happened in Cologne because men from North Africa don't know any better. He basically said because they wore skirts and perfume, they had it coming. And that's not just him.
Because they thought they were whores.
Yeah,
I get it.
Right. And even the mayor of Cologne had said, well, maybe if the women had kept them at arm's distance, nothing would have happened. Well, how about I live in a European city and I shouldn't be molested by a bunch of fucking third worlders who can't get with the program and just have some basic fucking decency.
Yeah.
I really don't want to debate Sharia shit with you, because we'll be here all day.
That's not.
Every Muslim I know lives by Sharia law, and I'm sorry, depending on the school of interpretation and how you live it, they're not all going to come to these stupid, brutal, violent.
No, okay, before Jim goes on, yes. Unfortunately, when it comes down to Sharia law, every fucking Muslim, every one of them practices it.
Yep.
What level? It's going to vary, but they all practice it. Every Muslim believes in Sharia law. Every Muslim, regardless whether you wear the hijab or the burqa or whatever, women is their property, their sexual device as needed. Sometimes the boys too. So, like it or not, that's just the harsh reality.
Yep.
So, someone's having a bit of a difficult time out there, I could hear.
Yeah, Mama's getting the bottle.
That's good. That's good. Obviously, somebody eats a little bit of a hungry time. Hungry time. Anywho, continuing.
Yeah, I did know.
All those Muslims.
Yeah, it's fine. We could hear things. At least I can.
I get
all the
too.
Muslims you know. No. All the Muslims you know. Are you talking personally?
Yeah.
So in America.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
So they're not. No. They're not coming from North Africa and the Middle East. You're saying personally you know them, so they're from America.
No. Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq.
So how do you know them personally if they
bullshit.
live in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Been interacting with them. Some
Online.
10 years. Yes, online.
Yeah, I know people online that tell me all sorts of shit. People online tell me they have spirit kin in their fucking heads.
Correct.
And that they're really furries. It doesn't mean shit. People can say whatever they want online.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Hey, I spent 2 years filling out UN paperwork over the internet. Is not some guy on some random guy. Give me a break.
Maybe you got catfished, man. I don't know. People make up all sorts of crazy fucking shit and present themselves differently. It's the internet. You can't take anything at face value.
So in the end, you're just going to say you're such an expert on their faith. You're an imam, basically, and you get to interpret it for them. Okay, whatever.
No, Dean, you're giving me some personal fucking, I know this guy personally, so obviously you're wrong, Jim. Bullshit.
Yeah.
You talk to some people online and you're taking that as God's word. I know people
I've had this discussion on the whole AIDS debate. I love it. I remember that, Dean. I haven't forgot.
believe in Sharia law. I talked to a guy from Afghanistan on fucking AOL. That's not good enough. What, are you kidding me? Is that evidence?
Well, evidence of your position, sir, is also lacking. So you can take your faith-based position, and I'll
My
take mine.
faith-based position isn't faith-based. It's based on the fucking factual evidence coming out and how these people interpret Sharia
You're
law
selective
in their region.
Yes.
Your selective interpretation,
Not
sir.
Oh,
we're not
this
getting
is
to
where-
interpret
this is the
how
extra-
you
Was it my
want
selective
to
interpretation that had rape mobs running around Cologne?
There is no proof at all that Cologne was about religion. None.
Except for the fucking police reports.
But police reports showing what? Crime reports. Where do the police reports say? Islam screamed Allahu Akbar as he stole her purse.
You're talking about the North Rhine-Westphalia state government has released a log of 1,000 offenses, 365 of them targeting 659 women. Talking about rape mobs and rape crip sheets.
Where does it tie that to religion? Where do these drunken people from
They're
different
all
countries all
Islams.
have a jihad patches on?
Oh, Ivan
Those
Jurkovic
relic-
wasn't good enough. The man who was a bouncer right in the middle of this event that was taking place, who was talking about women coming up to him and the men that were assaulting them. Or how about Jenny, the woman who was burned by a firework that was shoved down her shirt after she had her tits groped by North African men? I mean, these aren't.
They said, oh.
Yeah, this shit gets wild.
He starts. Oh god, he fucking starts screaming at him here in a little bit.
It's good.
It's coming. We're almost there.
We're almost there. This shit's about to get good.
And they said Allahu Akbar, and I'm doing this because of my religion. Is that what the reporting is? Or
Look, Dean, when somebody screams Allahu Akbar, yeah, they're doing it for the fucking religion.
is that something?
Oh,
you
I'm
add?
sorry. You're right. I forgot. The majority of people that come from North Africa are fucking Amish. How silly of me.
Okay, so
No, I mean, right? That's the majority religion in that region. The people that come from North Africa are obviously Amish. I'm crazy. They're not Muslims. Islam isn't the major religion in these regions.
Correct.
okay, you're asserting a causative factor there that you cannot demonstrate. You simply believe it.
Oh God.
You're
Dean.
saying their
Yeah,
religion
he's lost
did
that
it.
already.
I'm saying
they're
absolutely.
drunk.
I'm saying I'm saying the ideology. Yeah, you're damn right. The religion facilitates it. It's a male-dominated society that devalues women. You're absolutely fucking right. I'm 100% saying that.
Actually, Islam massively privileges women over
Oh,
men.
does
Oh,
it?
it
Does
does.
it when they
Yeah,
do
it
female
does.
circumcisions and fucking stone them to death?
Yeah,
That's
they
massively
do.
privileging them. When they need 4 witnesses for a woman being raped,
See,
they
this
need
is
4
where you
male
start-
witnesses. 4 male witnesses. That's
Jim,
privileging
this is
them.
where Jim, this is where you start sounding exactly like a feminist, and I was right to call you on it. Didn't call you a feminist, by the way.
Oh no,
Just
Dean!
said
You
you're
called me
acting-
you called me a lying,
yeah.
bigoted lynch.
Yeah, I told you we're getting to the good part. But yes.
This is the ripping. This is the beginning of the ripping.
Dean,
Yeah.
I told you this
Right.
before during that little flat off debate. I'm gonna tell you this again. You're a fucking retard.
Don't say that word, Sparky. I get in trouble for that word on here.
retard.
Mob leading
retard.
neo-Nazi because
Ah.
I was lying. Bullshit. And now
didn't
you've
call you
backtracked.
those
You
things.
backtracked immediately when you got into the stream. You shrinked away from it. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Jim. You were
Did I
right.
specifically call you a neo-Nazi?
You called, dude. Go look at your tweets. You told me you
Did
didn't even.
I call you a neo-Nazi?
Do you even remember what you said? I had to read it back to you because you don't remember.
And I didn't say you were a neo-Nazi there.
Let's see. You called me a bigot. You said I was leading a lynch mob. You called me a feminist. I'm fairly certain you did call me a neo-Nazi.
No, I said you're talking like a feminist. I know that's what I said, and I never called you a neo-Nazi. Although I also recently came across a story of
I feel like he's
neo-Nazis
marching
in Germany
back and forth with
recently
wireless
faking a
headphones
rape.
in his room.
Sounds about right.
Because that's what it sounds like he's doing. It sounds like he's going back and forth. And
Well, do keep in mind that he was in the tech field for a little bit, so he has those headless shit. So yeah, he's got the whole techie kind of communique set up.
it feels like he's walking back and forth in his room like a crazy guy who's talking to nobody right now.
Pretty much. You're not completely wrong. on that.
Wrong. No, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
I remember this.
Mom.
All right.
So
Great.
again, yeah, faking.
Was it on New Year's Eve in Cologne?
No, but this shit.
Oh, okay. When did it happen? Was it like your other two stories that happened 3 months ago, 600 miles away?
Yeah, so dance away from the fact that when you know.
No, I'm asking you
happen,
geographically, where did it happen and when did it happen? Was it 600 miles away like the other story, and was it 3 months before Cologne?
could have been 1,000 miles away and a year before. Doesn't matter, because I wasn't saying everything. But nobody in Cologne lied, so far as I know, and I never said anybody did.
So then, why are you bringing up neo-Nazis faking rapes if that's not the implication that
Because
they're
there's
obviously
reason-
lying?
No, because there's always reason to be skeptical and pretending
Skeptical
to
of
know-
what? If the events that you're talking about happen in a different fucking location at a different time, what am I skeptical about? We're talking about Cologne.
Is everything we're hearing out of Cologne correct? Is it all still correct? Do we know everything we need to know
Yes.
before drawing these conclusions?
Have I seen? I haven't seen one story that said that any of these people have so far been found to be liars. None of the stories that I've read over the last week and a half.
I didn't accuse anybody of lying.
You're
either.
asking me if they're factual. I'm saying there's no evidence so far that shows that they're not factual.
Okay, you got me there. You got me there. So let's have a religious war right now in the middle
retreating
of Europe. That's a
again.
good plan.
Mhm.
And blame it on the poor immigrants. I mean,
And now he's
The
going to
the poor immigrants, the poverty-stricken
fields.
immigrants. There's
Oh,
poverty.
have you-
There's
have you
poverty
noticed-
all over the world. That doesn't justify sexual assaults or violence.
Nor
I'm
does it
not going to
justify-
listen to this socioeconomic excuse for brute-like thuggish behavior.
Well, it is brute-like thuggish behavior, but you're wanting to put it all on one factor, and I'm not going to let you. Sorry.
I
Or
wonder if
I'll
that was
let
Jim
you,
or
but I'll just
Sparky
call
that
you
lit
a
a
fool.
cigarette just now.
And I'll
on
say that
everything.
you're
Doesn't matter.
and I'll say that you're an idiot that obviously has his eyes closed to the real issue that's happening right now in Europe.
The real issue is that what? We're under assault by Muslims?
The
Islamic
real
State
issue is that
destroying us?
the real issue is that unchecked immigration and allowing open borders from third world countries is going to have a drastically negative effect on European culture, safety,
Absolutely.
security, and future. And that
Yeah, right.
problem and then that problem is fueled by the ideology these people live under and are importing into a new area. They do not believe in multiculturalism. They believe in a dominant culture, their culture. They are not interested in learning German values or English values or French values. They are there to basically implement a caliphate, and that is what is going to happen.
Okay. I agree with everything except
Just look
I
at
agree with
England.
every bit of that except the paranoid, deluded notion that they're trying to establish a caliphate. Give me a break.
Why is it
Pause
no, fuck you. No.
Pause
Why is it
Pause
paranoid
this.
and deluded?
Pause this.
Yeah.
What's
I knew that was coming.
what the fuck's going on in Germany and France and fucking UK right now?
Everything's
Oh,
burning
Jesus.
down.
Christ. I mean, this shit was going on then, too, just not to the level it is now.
Everything is burning down. Everything is wonderful.
Send him a fucking message. Get him fucking here. I want to see if he some fucking believes this.
You know what the problem with England is? All the goddamn English, according to the Prime Minister.
The
Alright,
Indian
continue
Prime
on.
Minister that's never been English. In
No,
his
he's
entire
not.
life?
He's actually left office.
Oh, he has he? Oh, well,
Yeah, it's a white guy now.
okay. Well, I mean, now we've got a new guy. Okay.
They've been fucking going through prime ministers like there's no fucking tomorrow.
Well, the last time I remember they had an Indian dude. So
Yep,
what
and
do I
he
know?
quit. He quit. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out."
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I mean, he came up with a glorious idea of trying to make sure that no one
Maybe
was
so.
acting nice. So, I mean, realistically speaking, everybody has to have a spork. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Let's continue the battle.
Delusional. Why?
Fucking
Because-
retard.
You just agreed with everything I said. You said they're not multicultural. They want their own dominant way. They're not looking to share. They're coming in unchecked. These people are from the third world. Why the fuck wouldn't they want a caliphate? Why wouldn't they import the same shit they had in North Africa and the Middle East? If you agree with everything else I just said, why wouldn't they recreate the same shit
Yeah, why
in
wouldn't
Europe?
they, Dean? Why wouldn't they?
Okay.
Okay.
So obviously, if they're from a different culture that doesn't mesh well with German culture, if they are functionally semi-literate,
No. Their culture that really doesn't mesh with every other culture that isn't Muslim. Unfortunately, you may have a small outspoken group that will kind of merge well, but the mass majority won't. It's over.
And when the mass majority comes in, they see that small minority. They're the ones to get their heads lopped off. And
Fuck
their
yes.
heads chopped off.
Fuck yes.
That's the new prime minister, by the way, Rogue. I sent you back.
I will look at that in a few. Thank you.
at best, if they're coming out of deep lack of education, deeply different cultural values, there's going to be massive friction. I have to say that, but you want to make pretend we're
Why does he
having a
sound
new crusade
winded?
and a religious war? You're full of
He's
shit.
walking back and forth.
Because he's walking back and forth. He
I was gonna say he sounds
I
really
just-
fucking winded.
Well, here's the thing. He's one of those guys that get really worked up. Like, you know those crazy guys that start walking back and forth to get really winded while they're talking to themselves? That you've seen on the street sometime? I mean, basically, that's what he does in real life with people.
So
when
he's
he
trying
speaks.
to be the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Got it.
Essentially,
that
yes.
or Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money!
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I will agree. That's about right. Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
When did I ever say that I want to take up arms against Islam in the name of Christ? Don't call it a fucking crusade, because that's not what it is. You're talking to an atheist, so you can leave the religious shit at the door. I'm addressing a real-world issue that's taking place in Europe right now. I haven't called for a crusade. I didn't say kill them. I didn't say put Muslims in camp. I told you there is a problem that needs to be addressed, and that problem is unchecked immigration, and that problem is the ideology of Islam being imported unchecked into Europe.
Yeah, well, we don't agree on the religious angle. Sorry, we don't, and I think you have no proof for that, sir, except pseudo-scholars like Robert Spencer, Bat Eeyore, and that crazy bitch Pam Geller.
I don't.
Wow. He labeled. He's trying to go for the you're one of those guys that follow this particular nutsoid. So I don't trust your information.
I believe he says, no, I have actual proof. I don't go with what people say. I go with what
I
people,
know, right?
what has been,
I
right?
know.
Right after that, he fucking, it's going to be
Yeah,
beautiful.
Starmer is a crazy retard, by the way. Curious Starmer, he's a crazy retard. I'm surprised he's prime minister. Sure, okay, great. Moving on.
I don't know who any of those fucking people are.
So you're completely uneducated on this matter.
You just told me, no, fuck off. You just told me they're crazy. So why would I be uneducated if I don't listen to crazy people? If I said you don't listen to lunatics, does that mean I get to say you're uneducated? No, it would be a sane decision not to listen to lunatics. You just complimented me. I don't know who those people are. Obviously, I'm not a lunatic. I don't follow them.
Where is your paranoid fantasy of a caliphate coming from then? Because there isn't one. Those people aren't coming out of one, so they're certainly not going to be looking to establish one. In fact, a lot of Muslims hate each other, just like Christians
Now he's trying
do.
to say you don't know what you're talking about by talking about things he doesn't know about.
Yeah,
and people he doesn't know about
I
that
know,
nobody really probably knows about except for him that are inside his head.
You would think, right? But I do know a little bit on that one, and yes, there's quite a different selections of faith. There's at least 7 that all follow the Quran in different ways. Just like there's I don't know, there's like thousands of Christians that follow the Bible in different ways. But unfortunately, the mass majority that runs the entire show, they pretty much will kill everybody else that doesn't follow their specific belief system.
Until somebody replaces them or kills them and then takes over their spot.
Yeah, just listen to Sneeko and Hassan.
Yes.
Like happens in most Muslim religions. A new guy takes over as soon as an old shriek dies, and then he either laxes up or tells them to bite the bullet.
Yeah, but that's usually how that kind of would work. But when you look at it, you have the Sunnis that make up pretty close to 90% of all followers.
Oh yeah, then you got the Shiite.
And then you got the Shia, which is the close successor. And then you've got the what is it, the Idabal or the Sufis,
the Sufi, and then you have there's many different branches.
Well, no, not really many. There's really 5 that are all seeking power, and only 1 out of that 5 has been running the fucking show for almost 5,000 for the length of Islam. For the length of Islam. Let's put it for the length of Islam, they've been running this fucking show. So they have a lot of followers.
Oh yeah. I mean, you could probably drop something from a plane over top of one of those set countries and hit somebody.
That is guaranteed. But Sufi's been trying to survive. Let's put it this way, because it's always been the Sunni versus the Shia. And the Sufis have always been the smallest out of the group that kind of go, you know what, maybe things might have kind of changed over time. So yeah, they're not technically a proper Islamic sect, but oof, they do focus on purification and shit like that. So I mean,
No, they're not. Neither are really good. Neither are
no.
neither are really good.
But anyway, continuing.
They are not a unified force. They don't go into their mosque saying, "How can we make everybody be Muslim today by force?" Bullshit. That kind of religious inflaming is also fueling attacks on Muslims.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, my God, you know, all the attacks on Muslims like Paris, and I mean, don't forget America with San Bernardino. Those poor Muslims that were targeted by other innocent people crusading against them. Oh my God.
No, you know what? I'm not playing the moral equivalency game, okay?
No, I'm telling you, you don't have any fucking... you're talking about Muslims being persecuted. There are dead Parisians. There are dead Parisians at the hands of Muslims. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, thank you for declaring them martyrs in your cause.
I never... No. Wait.
No, admit it, Jim. You're having a holy war.
Dean, you're so full of fucking shit. I said dead Parisians. When did I call them martyrs?
You're treating them like martyrs.
You just said that Muslims were persecuted and hounded in Europe, and I told you no. I gave you an example of Europeans that were persecuted and killed by Muslims.
And I can give you examples and reports of
Muslims, give me one.
Of immigrants.
Great. Give me one on the scale of Paris. Give me one on the scale of Paris right now. Go ahead. Go.
No. So you win. You're obviously right in all your arguments. You win.
Thank you.
We've had this before.
Yep, and we're at this point where Jim just says, fuck it here. I think it's interesting from here because he basically realizes he doesn't know what the fuck that man doesn't know what he's talking about.
Nope.
Jim has researched this far better than him. And Jim's just like, why did you make me get up this fucking
Jim is like, fuck it, I'm lobbing the grenades.
Yeah, that's basically how I do shit. I mean, I this is what I do. This is what Jim does. We play with our food, and then all of a sudden, the food gives up, and we kind of go, why did we even start this? Why did you even decide to come to my plate, and just to roll over to play dead?
I think Jade actually came in. And she told him to settle down at one point. Because there's a point where he goes muted.
I know. We'll get to find out.
Because you don't have a fucking example, and we both know it.
Actually, we have all kinds of examples.
Great. Give me one the size of Paris. Go.
From police reports.
Give me an example the size of Paris. Go.
No, I don't have one. So you win.
Great. That's what I just fucking said.
All crimes against Muslims are now justified. Thank you.
When did I say they were justified? I told you I'm not calling to have them killed or murdered or butchered.
No, you're just blaming them, all of them, collectively, for the work of madmen.
No, I'm blaming their ideology. That's what fuels their madmen.
Ideology. And when they tell you that's not their ideology, you call them liars. How do they win?
When you've got 500 million people that think killing because they leave Islam is okay, that's a fucking issue, Dean.
That is.
It is.
That's true. It is. And it's one that Muslims need to be talked to about.
What is this myth of the moderate Muslim? You know, we talk about all these moderate Muslims and all these good guy Muslims. You've got a fucking 500 million people. That's nearly twice the size of the population of the United States that wants to kill anybody that lives Islam. That kind of seems like a bigger fucking deal. You know, we say, oh, the Muslims need to address it. I get this idea that people think when I talk about this, like, oh my God, you hate Muslims. If it was Christians doing it, I'd be up their ass about it. If it was Jews doing it, I'd be up their ass about it. But it's not the Christians, the Jews, the Buddhists, the Taoists that are in the middle of this shit right now. The problem.
He has done that. He has went at Jews.
Yeah.
Everybody's on. Look, everybody's feeding. Everybody's ass is able to be, put to the fire. All feet to the fire. So just because you have a certain protected race or a certain protected religion doesn't mean shit all to people like ourselves, like Jim and myself. Our types are like going, doesn't fucking matter. It's not. I don't treat you as a protected class. Period. End of line. You're a person just like everybody else. Yeah, you just happen to have a particular religion, or you just have a particular skin color. Congratulations. Don't fucking care. Doesn't change.
Or you drink the blood of babies.
Again, you're still an ape. Yeah, that's pretty basic. Blood of Jews.
Oh no, I said the blood of babies, not Jews.
No, I mean, blooded Jews, blooded babies. I mean, they're all the same to me.
Say, I know. Not everybody does, but
Whatever, man. Whatever. Continue.
problem we are facing right now is directly related to Islam and immigration from parts of the world where it is dominant.
Okay. All right. You win. All right. So you're right. They are a totalitarian ideology that wants to destroy us because a good portion of they're divided over whether or not you should be killed for leaving your religion. Let's leave out all socioeconomic factors as if that doesn't matter. Now, what do you want to do, Jim? Do you want to just keep pelting them and telling them their religion is shit so they hate you more? Or do you want to talk to them about how they changed that shit?
Oh, should I coddle them? Do you think if I hug them hard enough, they're not going to want to fucking detonate a suicide?
I'm sorry, I gotta stop. I'm just for free phone. I can just imagine somebody trying to hug a suicidal bomber. Jesus. Just, oh, you know what he needs, honey? He needs a hug. I see a man.
I believe someone did that at an airport once, and they didn't. It didn't go well for them. They were hugging the guy.
It did not go well.
It did not go. I mean, it saved a lot of people that he gave him a hug.
Yes.
But it still didn't end well for him.
No, for the other person, no. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Pizza for anybody? I know I've got some.
Side belt?
Yeah.
Is it behind the gate?
There you go.
Probably.
You don't know any Muslims. You just flat out clearly.
There we go. Now we got this other, throw this right out. You don't know any Muslims. So ergo, you have this false equivalent, this false narrative about them because you don't know any. So you're a bad person. You're a bad human being, Jim.
Yeah, and this is where Jim is just. He's been really nice.
Yes.
I mean, he's potentially getting angrier and angrier, but right now he's been more than me and you.
Close to like 4 to 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. So, depending on what it is, yeah, Jimmy is a very tired, grumpy man. So he's now pissed.
No coffee.
Yes.
No coffee yet.
So this is pre-cancer Jim. Gets better.
Don't.
I'm sorry. You're the expert because you talk to people on AOL. Give me a fucking break.
I talk to actual scholars as well.
Scholars. Oh, I see. There's scholars on AOL. Fuck. I'm sorry. I misinterpreted that. Obviously, you're talking to people online who are scholars.
So,
did you know that I'm a scholar too? I've got 4 PhDs. You're talking to me online, so you can take my word for it.
So, Jim, I was, even though we're in agreement on so much, I'm sorry to say I was 100% right to call you a religious bigot. It's what you and your fans are.
Hey, I'm not a bigot. Islam isn't a fucking race. Use a better word. No. Use a better word. Bigot's about race. I'm not a bigot. So go ahead. Another word.
Merriam-Webster right now. And
give me another word, Dean.
Yeah.
I don't have another word. It's the correct word. You think you're intellectually superior in a completely unjustified way because you're a pig ignorant heathen on religion.
I'm a heathen? I thought, are you a Muslim?
No, I'm
so then
not.
why would you call me a heathen?
Because go look the word up. You just called yourself an apatheist.
Let's see, bigot. A person who obstinately or unreasonably attaches to a belief, opinion, or faction, especially one who is prejudiced against or agnostic. I hate that word, but that's the worst word to use. But I guess that's the word they're going to go with this one. Towards a person or people on the basis of their membership of a particular group, and I feel that Dino is being very small-minded and bigotry on this particular mindset because he's believing that everybody that follows Medicare or has partaken in the Medicarisms is also in that same level of bigoted. Now I would say dogmatic or what would be a good dogmatic would be a good one.
Yeah, dogmatic would probably fit this.
Jataku in chat says a heathen.
Oh, a heathen. That's a word. Yeah, that's a word.
We're all heathens. What are you talking about?
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
Come on.
I know.
Especially because
yeah. Jim's being a real heathen towards that.
I mean, honestly, Jesus.
I don't think Jesus was involved in this one. Anywho.
Well, the Muslims
Atheist,
believe he was
yeah.
a prophet.
So you don't care. I was
Kinda.
just, by the way, I was
Yeah.
teasing, but still, it's the correct word. So is bigot. Go look it up. You believe yourself intellectually superior in an unjustified way, and you reject all counter evidence to your opinions.
Dean, I love that you come at me with this shit like, oh, you're like a feminist, or oh, you're a bigot, or oh, you're this.
You are.
Dean, you're.
I love it. I love it. This is his tax always. They never change. They're always the same.
He starts to get angry like a child, starts screaming at you like
Uh-huh.
you're completely wrong and he's right, and has a hissy fit. This is Dean's hissy fit. And I think Medicare only puts up with this for just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And we go into level 5. Fuck.
Yeah, it's
Level
Def
5. Fuck it. No.
DEFCON 5. Give a
No,
fuck.
DEFCON
No
1.
more.
We went from DEFCON 1 to you're fucked.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
fucking SJW. I watched you block people, countless people
Yes,
on Twitter
he
because
is.
they hurt
He
your
is,
fucking
or
feelings,
he
and now
is
here you
the-
are
Oh,
screaming
yeah.
racism,
SJW.
bigotry, all this other gay shit because you
You're
can't
a liar.
argue for crap.
You lying faggot. I didn't call you a racist, and I never did, because I don't think you are one. You liar. I think you're
Just call-
misinformed.
I think you're
I think
stumbling
it's
all
behind
over the fucking place.
Mhm.
You told me that Muslims are oppressed in Europe. I said, give me an example on the scale of
I
Paris.
didn't
You
say
couldn't.
oppressed.
You
I
couldn't
say
do
they
it.
have
You
some
couldn't
scripted against
do
them.
it, Dean.
I couldn't give it on the
You
scale.
went on a rant, a fucking rant for days, talking shit to me on
Uh-huh.
Twitter, saying this never happened in Europe. Now here you are dancing around doing a fucking shuck and jive on my stream. You were right, Jim. So Dean, if you constantly say shit that
Yep.
not true and that you know you fucked up
Yep.
on, why should I listen to anything you have to say? You've already backpedaled twice.
Okay. I don't think I'm the only one doing any backpedaling here, but
Whatever.
What if I back?
Oh,
Yep, it's going to get bad right here.
Oh, dude, you fucked up big time on that one. There was no. Medicare had you against the ropes. He did not let up. He'd been asking you the same, basically the questions. You've been dodging the answers.
Basic questions, too.
And they're
Just
very
basic.
simple questions. As well as Medicare, Jim presented you with information very very easily found anywhere for that particular event. You denied that piece of easy accessible information. You were then put onto the actual spot to come up with a counterpoint that's just as big or bigger than Paris, and you didn't have one.
Like I said,
And
he
now-
did
now-
no
now
research
you-
before this.
Yeah, and then now you're backtracking. You've been backtracking ever all this time. I mean, from the start to here.
And the only thing Medica's ever said is this is an issue. It has to do with this group of people. That's
Yes.
what the numbers look at. That's what the statistics look at. And it has to do with the religion. And it has to do with the integration or the piss poor integration with multiple societies. And it is a problem and it needs to be dealt with. Medica never put out there, this is how it needs to be dealt with. He's just simply calling it out as it is.
Yeah.
This is a problem. It needs fixed.
Like for right now in Canada, we have Indians shitting on the beaches, digging holes, having tents erected, and pooping in beaches.
Joe Taku in chat goes, Dino is like a Black Lives Matter activist. Won't give you any data to back it up. The shit, but will label you all the buzzwords for simply not blindly agreeing. Look, we know.
Oh yes.
We know. So we know Dean+Esmay. He is actually.
I am rogue. I've been around the thing called Dean+Esmay for a very long time. I've seen him flip flop from religion to non-religion, to his stance on whether it be MRA to certain types of MRAs, to him having complete breakdowns. Hell, he's been part of the actual Discord that I operate with several other different people, including these geriatric motherfuckers, and he has yeeted himself off to then scurry back to us because no one else wants his fucking ass. No,
I'll put it like this: he decided he was going to become a flat earther.
Yes,
and he decided that he was going to attribute all this stuff, and he got to the point of going, I can debate anyone on flat earth. Bro, do you want to be my practice partner? I was listening to him, and it's like, you know what? No, fuck, bro. I'll do this. And I thought within 10 minutes, school this fucking ass so bad, he was acting like this.
Pretty much. Look, I had an actual show with him, myself, and Nemo. It was called Nightburn, and it was based off of weird theories and shit like that. And we got to Dino doing the whole AIDS shit and how it actually started. And I'm like, hold the phone. I have proper evidence. I have more knowledge on this front than you do. And
Well,
then he kind of did the whole plead of, well, I know people in Africa, and I'm going, I know many people from all over the place that have had this situation, have been involved with this situation in some way, and we have different accounts, and it's different in different places. In Africa, it's a complete kind of, we'll just say, a sex craze pit over there because you can fuck a donkey and it's legit. It's not frowned upon.
I don't want to talk about fucking donkeys or watching people fuck donkeys. I had enough of that in Iraq. Let's move on.
There you go. See, Jim knows that. Jam over there knows that. He's participated.
And then having okay, you know what? I don't want to have to report. I don't want to have to talk about it again because I had to report it over radio. I'm in a tower, like, hey, there's a guy fucking a donkey. Well, actually, I didn't do that. The other guy did. And I was like, I think I'm going to shoot the donkey. Don't shoot the donkey. Well, then can I shoot the guy? Because the donkey doesn't look like he's enjoying it.
So we've had this. Some of us have had
Or
this.
her,
We've
or
watched
whatever.
this kind of. Dean does this all the time. Now he's called themselves Maxwell. I don't fucking care. It's funny as fuck. And watching him being taken to school by Jimmy Dean over here, by good old Jimmy Mediker, it's fascinating. It just proves that Dean should never do anything when it comes down to debates.
No.
It's one of those things. That's why he failed as an MRA.
Yep.
I hate to tell him, but I will tell him. He failed being an MRA because he can't debate.
All right, I gotta say this name. Daddy Pound Cakes has joined the chat. So.
Hi, Daddy Poundcakes.
Who in the fuck's Daddy Poundcakes?
Well,
that's on the TikTok site. I
it-
have no
it-
idea. It's just a name that I was like, you know what? That name jumps out right there. I have to say that online.
I know. So yeah, remember, but when we're streaming here Sparky, Jam is putting it over on the Ticker Talkers. So
Yeah, let's see if we can get Jim.
banned again.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. Beat hard.
Yeah.
Hold on. All my positions are out in the open. What have I backpedaled on?
You
Time out.
Give me an example.
Go back 10 seconds. Go back 10 seconds.
Let's do
Just
there.
let's just listen because he sits back. Dean comes in and says, "Well, I'm not the only one's backpedaled." Jim just sits back, grabs a cigarette, lights, says, "What have I backpedaled on?"
Yeah, pretty much.
one, you liar. I think you're misinformed.
I think you're
And I think
stumbling
it's
all
behind it.
over the fucking place. You told me that Muslims are oppressed in Europe. I said, give me an example on the scale of Paris.
I didn't
You
say
couldn't.
oppressed.
You
I
couldn't
say
do
they
it.
have
You
some
couldn't
against
do
it.
it, Dean.
I couldn't give it on this.
You went on a fucking rant for days talking shit to me on Twitter, saying this never happened in Europe. Now here you are dancing around doing a fucking shuck and jive on my stream. You were right, Jim. So Dean, if you constantly say shit that isn't true and that you know you fucked up on, why should I listen to anything you have to say? You've already backpedaled twice.
More than twice.
Okay. I don't think I'm the only one doing any backpedaling here, but whatever.
What have I backpedaled
feel
on? All my positions are out in the open. What have I backpedaled on?
Right there. Yep.
Give me an example.
No, I don't. You win. You're completely right. Your theology is spot on. Your notion of who these people are is spot on. Even though I totally agreed with you that immigration has been handled poorly.
Showing that
I totally
belly.
agree with you that
Yeah.
PC is a
When did
major
he say
problem.
that?
A while back, Ken,
Okay,
like I said, he's been backpedaling a lot since the start of this fucking interview, this debate, if you want to call
Okay,
it
I
that.
probably forgot because all this other
Yeah,
stupid shit he said.
he got but midway or somewhere about here, he backpedals and kind of goes, yeah, the religion is kind of, but we can't. I'm just kind of spitballing here. I'm trying to wrap it up as best I can and rogue speak. But yeah, he has backpedaled a few times. Again, starting from the beginning of this conversation to where we are now, this motherfucker has been backpedaling at least 8 times. He's countered with you're right on this, but you're wrong on this. And then when Jim points it out that he's right on that, Dean then kind of goes, you're right on this, but you're wrong on this. You see how this step works. He keeps doing this. He's trying to advance, but he has to keep going backwards. And the more he goes backwards, the less he's advancing. He can't debate. I wish he would stop trying to do any debates. Hell, Jesus fucking Christ. Did he actually have a show with Pinoid in it that failed?
I think he did.
Because he had a show with us, and that failed.
He had a show with you. I don't know. Did I do a show? No, I did do a show with him.
Like,
Fuck, I forgot about that. That was
us. It was like, it was one of those things. He had a show with us, and that failed.
no, because I remember one time we had him on the show,
Yes.
and it was about what was it fucking about? Oh my fucking god!
It doesn't matter. And again, it was basically, we had him on for like anything. Like for example, we had Nightburn. That was myself, Nemo, and him. He failed miserably. I had actual guests that would show up for that. That actually failed. Actually, he brought in some weird little religious doctor that believed in something, and I can't remember. You can't argue with dumb people. I know, right?
Yeah, they'll beat you with experience, but I think
know.
Jim is actually beating this idiot.
Yeah, he is. But no, so yeah, I had this. He invited some religious doctor to talk about time, space, and where God is, and all that kind of shit. And we ended up talking about dark matter and dark theory. And the guy that Dean brought on that wanted to school us, he got pissed because the guy was like, you're right. I probably didn't think of that. I'm like, yeah, I know it's a new science, and this is just kind of coming out, and I was just shooting everything that I knew about it, and again, I'm a novice on the basic science front.
Oh yeah.
And fuck, Dean was pissed. Dean was uber pissed. He's like, I'm never going to invite him again. I'm like, but you wanted him here. We like him. We're going to invite him again. Well, I'm not going to be there. Okay.
I remember that argument. You guys, oh fuck, that was hilarious.
Hell, we had Dragon's brother on the fucking show. That he was like, I want to go on there and talk about Satanism. I'm like, go. I don't fucking care. Go ahead. It's a show about all the fucking theories that are out there. It was supposed to be like Ripley's Believe It or Not meets some other shit, and I'm like going, we're covering all the weird shit in the world, from UFO sightings and all that kind of stuff. Nemo likes this shit. Dean seems to be liking this shit, so I'm okay with it. I'll be the retard that presses the buttons.
It was
And then
about
I come in and every now and then and call Dean on his bullshit and kind of go, hold up. I know I'm the guy that just presses the button here, but you fucked up here because here's the actual evidence. Well, whatever. And then he would yell at me because it's like, well, you're supposed to be the guy that's not supposed to say anything, press buttons. I'm going, I will be the silent person, but every now and then I will pipe up to counter either one of your retards if you don't do it properly. It's like it's a pro kind of versus the other party kind of thing. One believes this shit, the other one doesn't, and it's supposed to have a proper kind of conversation, and you're not doing it right. So I'm coming in because you guys are both agreeing on this thing. I'm going to counter. I'm your counterpoint. So bump heads with me now, and Dino hated it. He hated it because I put him against the ropes, and he was always wrong. Well, you know more than, and you have this kind of belief system, and you know because of this person. No, shut the fuck up.
You
Dino.
do this. You two done this all the time. You guys do this all the fucking time in Discord.
Yes.
Oh, just in Discord, you guys would be arguing. And Dean would jump in and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And we're talking about this, and then he tried to hijack the conversation with something else, and we'd start talking about it, and he'd be like, well, somebody told me this, and it's like, well, that's full of shit.
Remember his fucking religious tyrant that he had in the fucking Discord? Or one of them?
Oh, that.
Jesus fucking Christ. Everybody flipped on him going, well, I am a religion, but I'm not going to say I believe the same thing you do. And
I didn't realize him and Maxwell were the same person.
He is. That is.
I didn't realize that until just now.
Yes.
And I've been suspended.
Yes! We did it.
I don't even know it. For hate, what the hell? What were we talking about? Hate? Nothing. Absolutely.
We're talking about a retarded individual that constantly gets his ass beat.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, God. Dean+Esmay, love him. Oh, God. God, I don't want that man to ever change. He's fun.
Let's
finish this fucker up.
Let's continue on.
There we are.
Part of what's causing what's going on here now, even though I totally admitted to you there have been attacks and they're deplorable, you can't compromise even a little.
He is.
You've got to call me an SJW.
That's because that's what you behave like, Dean. You act like a fucking SJW. Did you block people on Twitter because you didn't like what they had to say? Am I making that up? Did you not do that?
Oh, yeah. Of course I do. I'm sorry. When did blocking people become the new mortal sin?
Well, see, I don't do that because I'm not a faggot. I mean, you called me a faggot, so allow me to return the favor. I'm not a faggot that shrieks away because somebody says something I dislike. I let them say whatever the fuck they want. I notice, though, that a lot of SJWs and feminists, though, love to tune people out when they say something they don't like to hear.
He is not wrong on that one, and that happens a lot with that group. Both of those fucker retards. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I see. Well, I hear stuff I don't like to hear any day, but when people come at me with personal attacks and bullshit, at some point I block them, especially I got people who seem to have nothing better to do than bug me all day. Little secret, though, I usually unblock everybody within a day or so. But whatever. I'm not required
what the hell
to listen to people fling bullshit.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that right.
I unblocked them, so I don't really block them. But so it's like, no, you still block them. You just block them so they won't respond back to you.
Yeah.
Or can't.
Yeah. Correct. Just long enough so that they forget about you. They're not going to continue approach and they're going to move on.
Jimmy doesn't do that. He doesn't forget or forgive.
No. I barely block anybody. The only time I block anybody is like a spam bot. And even then, I kind of go,
The good thing, the only thing I can say about Dean is that he really knows how to get under people's skin enough to get invited onto their shows, no matter how big or small they are.
No.
That is an amazing fucking skill.
That is a skill. I give him that. That's why I said that man should never change. He's got an amazing skill set to be hated by everybody.
Oh yeah, so much so that he can get invited onto fucking any show.
He is truly a local.
I see. Oh, get him on the fucking Keemstar. We gotta get him on Keemstar.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to harass Keem on this one. Oh fuck!
Oh. Wait! What?
Get Dean on Keemstar's locale.
Boogie, Wings, Dean.
No.
Tommy C. Get Tommy C in there too.
No.
Tommy C will rip him a new one, but it'd be hilarious.
Tommy C's fired, so.
Yeah, questionable. He might be brought back if they can't find a new person.
If you want to get a lockout in there, Dean would actually be pretty damn good. One of the best
ones. No, the funny thing is right now they've actually spitball kind of going, well, have him on a guest, and Boogie kind of go, well, if he brings the energy, then he could probably have his job, or however they wanted to do it. I don't remember if it was Boogie exactly or Keem or however, but it is alluding that Tommy has the ability to get his job back.
I don't think Tommy's going to go for it, though.
Tommy's already stated that he was being fired and he has no plans on wanting to go back. But like I said before, I'm looking at this as a different perspective. We've got Dean+Esmay up on the table here that could be a perfect addition for retardation.
Well, I mean, honestly, he could outdo Boogie and Keemstar at the same time as far as retardation goes.
Yes.
And that would be amazing.
It would be. I tune in just for having the Dean episodes.
I know, Jesus Christ, that'd be
like I don't care about Wings and I don't care about Boogie. Boogie's an idiot and he's always been an idiot. Keem, he's just a loudmouth dork who thinks he's big but really isn't. And we're talking about height. And so the only person that they really need is either DSP, who's an actual living, breathing person who's survived all of these fuckers? Or Dean+Esmay, who is a complete lolcow by himself?
Oh God, yeah, that would be fucking beautiful. That would be
Just the fact of watching those two fucking retards, and we're talking about Wings and Boogie trying to outdo Dean. That'd be amazing.
Oh, it
That
would
would be amazing.
That would be truly amazing.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Let's continue.
No, you absolutely aren't. But it's the same mentality. I mean, it's the same thing that you see
So-
SJWs and feminists engage in, is it not?
So the ideologically pure never block anybody. That's the new social rule. No, I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing.
Did I say that the ideologically pure did that? When did I say that? I can back the
Just
stream up.
whatever your idea of, I'm sorry, Jim's idea of purity is, I never
Wow.
block anybody, no matter how.
But yeah, because I'm not a
they're
pussy,
big.
Dean. Right. I don't block people because I'm not a pussy. I didn't say it was
You're not a pussy.
ideologically. I didn't say it was ideologically pure. I'm saying you're a pussy.
Oh, okay. I'm a pussy. Well, say it to my face sometime.
Oh wait, Dean, do you want to meet in real life? Are you
Oh,
gonna fight me
Jesus,
now?
tough
Is this
guy.
the internet tough
You
guy
did-
routine? Like, oh, you wouldn't dare say that to my
No,
face.
He did attack us before the talk is
Oh my, he did do a Takusau before the Takusau. Fuck.
Oh, Jesus Christ, say it to my face. Oh, wow. Oh, God, the issue talk. I love
God
it.
damn it. Like I said, Dean would be great on the Law Podcast.
He would. All I would have to do is send this to Keen. So Dean+Esmay. I have him. I have links to him if you want. Go for it.
Yours is the internet.
No. Back it up, Sunshine. You said say it to my face. So are you?
Say it to my face.
Oh, so you're.
I don't think you would.
Go ahead. Do it in my face. It's hard to take you seriously when your voice cracks. It doesn't sound intimidating. It's not really intimidating when you challenge somebody to do something in real life and your voice cracks like this, Dean.
I see. All right.
It's Mickey
So
Mouse.
anyway, your low rent, low IQ.
Low
trash.
rent, low
I'm glad I
IQ.
made my point.
He still
You
has
made
a
no
fucking
points. You made yourself
podcast.
look like
You
a
used to
fucking
back then,
asshole
still then?
that backpedaled left and right,
Yeah.
that had nothing to bring to the
Shit.
table other than outdated articles from other areas of fucking Germany. You didn't back anything up.
I backed up that it was right to be skeptical, and you know it.
Skeptical of what, you fucking twit? You have evidence before you that you fucking cast aside because you're an idiot.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. I was right to be skeptical, and I don't
Is-
apologize. for being
right to be skeptical about what?
I was right.
How
to,
did you start this stream off, Dean? What did you say to me? You know what,
You
Jim?
were right about many things.
Right. So you're right to be skeptical, but I'm right.
Excuse me.
Yes
would
or
like
no? Yes, was I right or not, Dean?
About what?
About what did you say I was right about when you started the stream?
That there is a problem with unchecked immigration. There's a problem with PC. There's a problem with the people there not meshing culturally. The press has behaved badly. The police have behaved badly. We can't agree on all those things. And me still have started this off by saying I'm skeptical. There were 1,000 women or 1,000 Muslims raping 100 women. That shit didn't happen. That's what I was told.
Like I said to you, like I responded to you, that wasn't me that told you that, was it?
I was right to stay.
Was it me that told you that?
And by the way, I repeat, no, it wasn't.
Great.
But I was right to stay skeptical. And I'm not going to back down or say I was
So
wrong to be
you're skeptical of things other people say, but what I said was right.
What?
You just said you're skeptical of people telling you 1,000 Muslims raped 100 girls. I said I didn't say that, so you're saying you're skeptical of it. But the other shit that I was saying, you said no. You know what? I agree. So
I agree with some of it, and I don't agree with all of it. I'm
what
sorry.
what didn't you agree with in our initial conversation? What have you what do you still hold is untrue about what our initial conversation was about?
On Twitter?
Yeah. It's back on the 8th if you want to use Twitter Advanced Search. You can pull it up.
No, I don't need to. On the 8th, I was accusing you and others of jumping to conclusions with insufficient evidence, and I don't apologize for that.
You don't apologize.
I tried apologizing if my words were too harsh, but that's all I tried to apologize for. I was right to be skeptical in that moment, and I'm not going to apologize for that. Why should I?
Were you
It has subsequently come out that there
Did your
were-
skepticism bear fruit? Did it turn out that the attacks didn't happen?
It bore fruit that they certainly didn't happen the way I was told they were happening.
And what were you told by me?
This is not all about you, Jim.
You're on my fucking stream, Dean. We're talking about our conversation. You're goddamn right it's about me. So what about what I told you was untrue? What about what I told you didn't turn out to be factually accurate? You're not debating the asshole that told you it was 1,000 Muslims raping 100 women. You're debating me.
No, I'm debating you, the idiot who claims it's about religion.
Hey, that's great. That's a nice duck. That's a great duck. Answer the fucking question, Dean. What about my initial comments turned out not to be fucking true?
Yep, they are off.
They're gone. There's no more padding.
Okay, I guess nothing.
Great. So then what the fuck are you doing here? You basically said everything I said was true. You're just pissed off because you don't like me. Great. That's fine. What do you...
I never disliked you, and I still don't dislike you.
So you like lying racists and bigots?
Actually, I have a lot of people who are friends I would consider racists and bigots. It's not the
We're included, I believe.
Yeah.
So then why even throw that out there? What's the point?
Even Sparky.
I threw it out initially because I saw you leaping to
And his
conclusions,
kid.
and I still think you're leaping to conclusions you can't support.
Oh, okay. So you
But
don't like
certainly
you don't like
attacks happen
no
in the world.
This goes back to the SJW shit. You don't like the way I think. You don't like the conclusions I come to. So you throw out bigot to what? Herd me off and make me think something else? Are you saying that you're attaching? No, I'm asking. I'm just using the words that you just used. You said you don't like the conclusions I'm going. You don't think they're supported. So you throw out these words. Why? To herd me off because you don't like my wrong think? That's not SJW-ish to you?
I don't have any intention of ever trying to censor you or harass you or try and get you to lose your job because I don't like your opinion.
I never said you did.
Two, well, that's what SJWs actually do.
I know what SJWs do, Dean. I fucking talked about them for the last 3 years.
They destroy people's lives is what they do. And they create ideological constriction that's just suffocating beyond belief. They're some of the worst people in the world. But they didn't invent the concept of bigotry. Just go look at a dictionary. I don't think you know what you're talking about on the religion. I really don't. The rest of it, yeah. The religion, no. Sue me.
Oh, okay, so you just disagree with my stance that Islam is the core to the problem of the immigrants coming over?
Yes.
Okay.
I do disagree with that. On the other hand, still, it adds to a major cultural difference, and it may not be overcomable. They need to be talked to about it, and I don't mean talked to, cuddled. Here, have a cookie. I don't want to offend your religion. I really do think it's appropriate to have the conversation of, hey, in this country, people get to switch religions. Do you accept that? If not, get the fuck out of here. I mean, that's one of the biggest stupid things they did. So you know what? To some extent, I agree with you. That one part of it. I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and backtrack because I'm going to give you credit on this one. I'm sorry. Because it is true. They need
That's
to
a fourth
ask
time.
if they're among those people who say you should be killed for leaving your religion. They should be told, no, we put people in prison for that here. Do you understand that you have freedom of religion here if you don't get out or just don't come here? I don't have a problem with that either. I think that's more of a cultural than a religious value, but we'll split the difference and say, yeah, that is part of the problem. It's the only one I've ever been able to identify, though, and I have written about it in the past. I know lots of Muslims who are nuclear scientists and doctors, and they've been here for 30 years. They aren't the problem.
Did nuclear scientists and doctors ever commit crimes?
Well,
I mean, yes or no? You're acting like their profession and education, exempts them from being criminals.
So you think my buddy Aziz?
I know. I'm asking you a simple, straightforward question. Do nuclear science?
Of course they.
So then, saying that they're a nuclear scientist and that they're educated means nothing.
And so it must mean that they're going to be.
I never said they were going to be. I said, does it exempt them from being criminals?
My point is these primitive, I'm going to call them primitives, coming out of Africa, don't have the cultural values.
That's bigoted, Dean.
I know. It's also very racial, too, because you said Africa, so that's a particular race that's coming out there, Dino. Jesus fucking Christ. That's like hitting racial kind of bigotry now. Jesus, you just went up the scale. Holy fucking shit. Dean, what did you do? What did you do? Look at my boy. They killed him.
Of anybody who grew up in an elite society. They just don't. These people, these are frequently, not all of them coming over, of course, but these are frequently people for whom a rich man has a herd of camels. I mean, yeah, you've brought a bunch of foreign semi-literate people into Germany and other countries, and now you don't know what to do with them because you were a bunch of fucking fools. Not you, Jim, but They were fools to do that. They basically brought barbarians in, and now they don't know what to do with them.
And that would be
We was
the core of
king.
the issue that's going on in Europe. And again, that goes back to my initial point of the reason you had people bringing up articles from Hungary. I don't know about the 1,000 Muslims and 100 women. I have no idea who that was. But people bringing up examples in Hungary and all these other countries is directly related to the immigration that's currently happening in Europe and that it's currently coming from, specifically, the Middle East and North Africa.
Yeah, all of that, all of that is happening. All of that is happening, and so it's being handled so wrong. Which is why, really, when we started, I don't feel that I was backtracking. I was trying to hold out an olive branch and say, listen, there was heated things all over Twitter going on when this started. Here's what I really think.
Well, Dean, I deal with heated shit all the time on Twitter. I mean, I don't get why you brought that up a couple of times, like, the heat of the moment kind of thing. Whatever. The internet is made for shit talking and trolling and banter back and forth. That's par for the course, everyday thing.
It is, and then you get on the phone or hang out like this and hopefully come to a better understanding of each other's positions that you can't get into 140
Now
characters.
he realizes he's completely lost, and now
Well, no,
he's
not
just trying to make
necessarily.
friends.
I'm here for the banter. I'm here for the conversation, Dean. Whether that conversation is, civil or whether we're just shit talking each other doesn't matter to me. That's the internet to me. That's how I live and breathe and interpret it.
Well, then fine. Then stop crying like a little bitch when someone calls you a bigot. I mean, really? Come on.
Dean, again, it's hard to hear you shit talk when your voice cracks, man. Stop calling people a bigot. Does not sound I'm just telling you straight up, bro. It doesn't sound intimidating.
I'm not trying to intimidate you.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, if you want to talk shit, Dean, you need the voice for it. You can't. It's like I had this guy that came on the Metocast, fucking Guitar Boy 447. I swear to God, and if he's listening, he knows what I'm talking about. He's a mute browser. The most autistic voice you've ever heard. I had one guy that came on. I swear to God, man. He was talking about, you're talking about, like, we briefly touched on it, neo-Nazis, and you're talking about the Nazi attacks and shit. He was touching on eugenics, and there's nothing funnier to me than listening to somebody who has a kind of autism voice talk about fucking eugenics and putting people into camps. So all I'm saying is, if you want to shit talk and banter, either have the voice for it, or you better bring something better to the table than saying, stop being a little bitch because I called you a bigot.
Okay. Stop being a little bitch because I called you a bigot. There, is that a little better?
It's a little better. It's a little better. More from the diaphragm. More from the diaphragm, but you're getting there.
From the diaphragm. All right, I'll work on it. Listen, Jim, I
never
don't dislike
did.
you. I disagree with you on some things. And if you want to call me an SJW, fine, but I think challenging ideas is not SJWism. I don't want anybody.
I don't think you're an SJW. I think you just engage in some of the practices they do. I think it.
Well,
listen. I mean, this
guys
is my.
engage in rape hysteria just like they do. So hey, we both think the same thing. About
How is
each
it
other.
rape hysteria if you just agreed with me that the initial reports I was talking about turned out to be accurate? You said you don't
Because
disagree.
the initial reports from other places weren't so accurate.
Again, you're talking about shit other people are bringing up to you.
Yeah, a lot of people in your little circle. You were just
My little circle. I don't own a cabal, Dean. I don't run
Neither
a.
do I, but you're sitting there making excuses for the bullshit.
I'm saying I can't
It's
answer
a
for other
bully
people. It's me and you in this
I
call.
know,
All I can
right?
do is talk about myself.
And that's why I started saying, hey, Jim.
I mean, am I bringing up other MRAs? Am I talking about, what is his name, Paul Elam? Am I saying, hey, Dean, I need you to account for what he said?
No.
So then I can only address the shit that I said, man.
And all I was doing was giving context. And
not
admitting
good.
I may have been shot off too fast at you.
You
I
were
started
not doing
with
the
that.
greatest content.
But I still think there's
Yeah.
plenty to talk about here. In fact, even though we've been shit talking, we both had some interesting things to say, haven't we? I think.
So
No.
you're talking about rape hysteria. You at least
Yeah, rape
whether
hysteria.
it's from me
Rape
or from other
hysteria.
people. Okay, I'll let you go with that. Tell me what your position on that and why you think rape hysteria is taking place.
There's reason to suspect. There was more reason to suspect it on the night that you and I were getting into it than there is now. There was reason to suspect because the police in multiple parts of Germany have been complaining about that. Because historically, we know the political groups will frequently use a woman in peril, the damsel in distress trope. It works for feminists because it works. It's older than feminism is. We have seen one of the favorite things the Nazis used to do was show Jews in threatening rapey poses to good German white women. Everybody who studied the history of this shit knows it happens that way. There is such a thing. If I specifically called you a rape hysteric, I apologize. But for being concerned
Eric.
that rape hysteria was going on, I will revert to,
Mhm.
I heard 100
Who's
women
Eric?
raped that night on the streets of Cologne. Looks
From where? On the stream, or what he just said?
It's like, if I called you a rapist, Eric, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't. That could be a list of a lot of different peoples that have interacted with Tino. Unfortunately,
A lot of people, I believe.
The way it sounds like he was talking to him
it
about
could again. It could be someone very again. Like I said, he's had a lot of different people that he's interacted with. So I'm not gonna kind of give him the outs on this one. He fucked up. He's probably thinking of somebody within his circle, somebody that he's had recent dealing with. So that was the first thing that came to his mind. It's probably the same fucking kind of statements that have been alluded to, because when you're a schizoid like Dino is, you have too many names that kind of blend in, like you with your list. When it comes down to Gem and Jim, they sound the same. Unfortunately, in his little schizo brain, he's talking to Eric. So I don't know. I would have to kind of look into the MRI list to see exactly which one, but it's probably a high-powered, Grand Dragon within the MRA, sphere that he is kind of focusing some of his energy towards. Because if I remember correctly, there was also the same time that Dina was being outed by the MRA collective. So yeah. Because this would be 2016, so yeah, that would be just before he decides to have an emotional outburst again. In this case, it would be over the honey badgers. So a lot of shit happens with him this year. So yeah, I'll have to look it up. Anyways, continue. We're almost done.
97, 98 short on that one. And yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily know about that. There have been articles now over the last 2 days talking about 1,049 victims, of which 359 were sexual offenses. 659 women targeted.
But
So
please don't even call that rape, please.
Dean,
I mean, I'm sorry. Don't call every kind of rude sexual harassment a rape. That's cheapening something.
we haven't even gone into the specifics. You're outright dismissing that any of them might have been rapes by saying
No. I already said there were rapes, just not to the ludicrous scale we were heard. The last I heard, and I was looking as late as last night, there appear to be 3 which have some meat to them, some real merit to them. 3.
How would we define a rape having meat?
That the police are taking seriously.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about 2 things, at least in regards to rape hysteria. I think these 2 are interlinked, and I think they're important. One, there has been, I mean, you had the police chief get fired. You've had police officers, especially in Germany, getting their shit chewed out because government officials and people in the media have come forward, and this is in the newspapers. I mean, I can get you the direct quotes. I can try to find them and pull them up for you. Like the Interior Minister and other people that were in the cabinet or currently in government had said that there was a media blackout, that this was intentional, and that immigrant crime has been suppressed. I mean, we saw an example in Sweden. We've seen some in Austria. We've seen some in Germany. Yeah. So you're talking about like, it's rape hysteria because people are talking about it. People were pissed off, and they're talking about it on social media because it was intentionally, deliberately suppressed by the media and by European governments.
And I've already stipulated that was happening.
Right. So
that's happening.
So you're seeing a fervor online, and you're seeing people talk about this, not because I think it's driven by rape hysteria, but by pure anger at the police and the media for suppressing it.
It looked like it when it started to me. And it still looks like people are anxious to make every sexual harassment charge a rape charge, and that bothers me too.
Well, they're listed as sexual offenses, not sexual harassment.
Well, sexual offense, it will include anything up to sexual harassment. That's what my point.
Well, okay, you give me, maybe we're talking different definitions. What is your distinction between harassment and offense?
Well, harassment would be a category of offense.
Okay, describe it for me.
Run up to somebody, feel them up, have your friend grab their wallet, and then you both run away, which multiple German friends of mine have told me they've seen happen.
Oh, okay, so you don't feel that grabbing somebody's genitalia is a sexual offense?
It's a sexual offense, but please don't cheapen it by calling it rape.
I didn't. I referred to them as sexual offenses.
Right, but people are calling it rape mobs.
Well,
And I'm sorry. That bugs me too. I'm not accusing you.
with crimes ranging from mere pickpocketing to full-blown group rape is what's being reported in the newspaper on the
Yeah.
list of shame
That's
of
right.
821 complaints.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. I'm sorry. Is that 821 rapes? Is it 372 rapes, or is it various forms of thug fuck behavior that needs to put somebody into jail? I mean, I don't know what to tell you. How grabbing somebody's tit and running off with her purse is not the same thing as raping her, but it's not. And a lot of people.
No, I'm saying that the crimes that were listed range from.
Yeah, they range from.
Pickpocketing.
And you're right.
But you said there were no rape mobs, but they're describing group rape.
Okay.
Well, I mean, would you not count group rape as a rape mob?
All right, you win on that one.
I'm not saying that all 359 were group rapes.
Well, and the people talk like it is, and and I'm not talking to you. People just keep talking like it is.
Voice thing, Dean. Voice thing.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's what I think I'm doing. Maybe I'm just a fool. Maybe I'm just a dimmy. Maybe I'm just kissing ass because I don't want to be mean to my Muslim friends.
Well, Dean,
Whatever.
how
What I
else would you
see-
describe the situation in Europe other than pure insanity? You
I
have
wouldn't.
but I mean, you have the government and the media intentionally covering up sexual offenses by foreigners in your country. Let's say you were German.
Yet just 2 months, they were talking in the press openly, including female police commissioners complaining about false ones. So again,
Yeah, no,
it's like,
Dean, back up.
Who the fuck knows what's happening?
That's what I'm saying, though. If you have a government that's willing to suppress actual rape crimes and sexual offenses, maybe the previous reports were suppressed too. Maybe the reason that police commissioner is saying that is because they were under the same orders that the police in Cologne were under, not to investigate, not to follow up on, and not to allow the media to follow up on. I mean, we have evidence of an actual cover-up taking place in Europe for a 5-day period.
And yet we also have other reports appearing in the news of police just kind of randomly filling out reports that they can't even validate just so they don't want to get in trouble. I literally don't know what I believe over there, except I know it is all ultimately about the refugee problem. And no, it's not screaming racism. Yeah, okay, racism's there sometimes. Give me a fucking break. It's not the worst crime in the world. That's not the real issue. The issue is these people not rubbing up, are not fitting in with the mainstream culture. The mainstream culture has every right to be uncomfortable with them and to complain about crimes. This is why it bothers me. I feel like we're in a time where no one can take a middle ground on something. I have to be a super uber duper lefty if I disagree with you on some things, rather than thinking, okay, well, we agree on a lot of this, because we do.
But you act like that, Dean.
Well, Dean, what's the point? I mean, there's no point in taking a middle ground. If there's
right,
no, I mean, compromise for the sake of compromise is foolishness. It's folly. What's the point in saying there's no merit in that? Just saying, well, I took the middle ground, and that somehow is an applaudable thing. It isn't. It's not something that should be lauded that you compromise for the sake of compromise.
I'm not compromising for the sake of compromise. So maybe I shouldn't have used the word middle ground, because I'm not compromising for the sake of compromising. I really believe the words I'm saying. Well, you
just said there's so much insanity, though, that you have to be a super uber lefty to kind of reach that middle ground. So it sounds like you're intentionally shifting to the left just to keep that compromised middle ground position.
No. People arguing your position frequently accuse me of being a super uber lefty, like an SJW, which you did do in this conversation.
I said you behave in mannerisms similar to them, and you do.
I agree with so much of what you're saying. Yet I will continue to call for calm. I will continue to note that there's reason to be skeptical on both sides of this question. What else can I say? Jim, we've been at it an hour. Thank you for at least having me on. I still think we agree on more than we disagree on, and I don't dislike you.
Oh, okay. I'll give you the last word here then before we end out. Is there anything in particular you want to say before we cut it?
No. Anybody who just wants to shit talk, I'm usually not really that into shit talk. That's just me. We agree on more than we disagree on.
All the time.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one, guys.
All right, have a good morning, Dean.
Bye.
That's it.
All right, chat. Well, that was I should have asked him how he says his last name. That was Dean+Esmay. I'm going to go with Esmay because I think that's how you say it. And this was a discussion on the events in Cologne. So there you go. It was a little shorter than I thought. I thought we'd go for a little bit longer, but again, it's really early in the morning, so I'm sure he's got work and other shit to do. I hope you enjoyed yourself, chat. I hope you had a good time. It's a nice way to start off the morning with a little bit of banter, a little bit of shit talk. If this was a normal Metocast, I'd be going for like 3 hours. But again, this was just kind of a
That was
conversation
a fucking
between the
murder.
two of us.
That was a massacre. That
There
was
you
a
have
fucking
it.
murder.
So have a good morning. Enjoy your workday. Enjoy university. I don't
Medica
know
is
what the fuck
guilty
you
of
people
murder
do.
there.
Or go back to bed.
It's a lynching.
For those interested, the stream will be up
That could
on the
go
channel
there.
like the other Metocasts. I'll put it in the playlist if you want to watch it later for whatever reason.
Is it? It's over. We're done. We made it.
Oh my goodness, we
I
made
know,
it.
right?
2 hours in.
Yep. Yeah, we made it. I told you it'd be kind of a weird one. It was an hour, so yeah, depending on the commentary. But unfortunately, that is Dino the Machino. He's
And we're friends with him. Well, I wouldn't say friends, but
associates.
we know him. We're associates. There you go.
People. He's within the group, but we don't talk to him very respectfully sometimes, and sometimes we do. It all depends on how he comes to us.
It depends if he takes his medication or not.
It feels like that is the case. And to answer your question there, Sparky, when it comes down to the word Eric, there's Eric Anderson and Eric Carroll that are in the MRA circuit. So he could be referring to one of those two individuals. I have no idea, but yeah. So I'm like, I don't care. But at the end of the day, I was like going, I don't know if he just kind of slipped it or whatever, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, Ellen Farrell, so on and so forth, Strong. Oh yes, the fight with Karen Strong. That's gonna be a good one to bring up one day. Oh fuck, that's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, how did you enjoy yourself there, Sparky?
I'm tired.
Yes, it is kind of challenging. But yeah, we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming up for yet another fine edition of this lovely road takeover of MetoHistory. I have no idea what the next one is going to be because I'm just pulling this through my ass, and it's getting a little bloody back there because there's a lot to pull out. Jesus fucking Christ. And I'm digging deep. So, Jem, as usual, how did you like it?
I watched it before. I just didn't remember it, and I didn't realize until like you said Maxwell. I was like, is Dean and then Maxwell? Oh my God, they are. No wonder I kept on thinking of Maxwell the whole fucking time. And I'm like, God, he sounds like an actor. I was like, oh, that's right. But I watched this way back when it came out, 2016.
Yes, it was in January. The 21st.
Yeah, because I remember watching this, and I remember talking to you about this. You said you knew him. And I didn't realize. I think I forgot.
That's fine.
It's been a while. It's been 8 years, so fuck.
It's been a long time. I've been doing this shit for a long fucking time.
I didn't even realize we've known each other that long now. 8 years. It's like,
well, do keep in mind that I've been everywhere. I've been all over the different fronts and that behind the scenes mostly. And when I make my presence known, well, let's put it this way. I'm not welcome in that space. And I wonder why.
And God damn! But that I remember happened to being up that night because I couldn't sleep because I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And I was just like, "What's going on?" And Metokur was on, and I was like, "Hey, what's this?" And I think that was one of the times. That's when he changed his name to Metokur around that time.
Yeah, the Metocast would have been.
And I didn't realize the difference. Like I said, I've seen so much of his shit, and I just like since I was just I didn't realize
he's been jumping around depending on what he wants for the YouTube, and you always have to change on YouTube in order to kind of keep with a certain audience and to keep yourself growing. So you have to constantly adapt and change a little bit, add a few things here and there, because if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, it does become kind of stale.
Oh,
so you have to kind of keep reinventing the wheel in this case. But yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. We're going to have another one that's going to be wrapping it up in another week. But we're done here. So as normal, I give you guys your last rates. I hit fucking buttons. We get the fuck out of here. don't all jump at once.
Ray,
Later, guys.